Welcome to Tanzania. Every corner of this East African paradise holds wonders, and every landscape tells a story of nature at its most magnificent. In 2024, 2 million adventurers from across the globe visited this remarkable land, and the number of tourists is steadily increasing each year. But what drives this surge in popularity? Perhaps it's the call of the Serengeti, where life's greatest migration unfolds before your eyes. Or maybe it's the pristine beaches of Zanzibar, where turquoise waters meet powder-white sands under swaying palm trees. Tanzania is a land where nature wrote its greatest stories. Here, ancient volcanoes cradle thriving ecosystems, while coral reefs paint underwater gardens in a rainbow of colors. Whether you're watching the sunrise over the Ngorongoro Crater or diving in the crystal-clear waters of Mafia Island, Tanzania's treasures will leave you speechless. So, how well do you know this African paradise? Here's a quick question. Which Tanzanian park is known as the Garden of God for its spectacular wildflower displays? Write your answer in the comments below. Before we begin our journey through Tanzania's most beautiful places, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Now let's begin our journey through this extraordinary country and discover its most wonderful places. Let's start with one of Earth's most spectacular wild places. The Serengeti National Park, stretching across 14,750 square kilometers of pristine African savanna, the Serengeti is nature's greatest theater, where the drama of life unfolds daily against a backdrop of endless golden plains. As you enter the park, the first thing that strikes you is the vastness. The name Serengeti comes from the Maasai word Seringet, meaning endless plains, and as you gaze across the horizon, you understand why. But what makes the Serengeti truly special is the Great Migration, the largest movement of land animals on Earth. Two million wildebeest, accompanied by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, moving in an endless cycle across these plains in search of fresh grass and water. This spectacular migration isn't just about numbers. It's about survival, new life, and nature's perfect timing. During the calving season, usually in February, thousands of wildebeest calves are born each day. Within minutes, these youngsters must stand and run, as predators are never far away. The migration follows a clockwise pattern through the park, and timing your visit right lets you witness different aspects of this remarkable journey. When the herds cross the Mara River, usually between July and September, you'll witness one of nature's most dramatic spectacles. Thousands of animals brave the crocodile-filled waters in their relentless push forward. But the Serengeti isn't just about the migration. The park supports an incredible variety of wildlife year-round. Prides of lions lounge on kopjes, ancient granite outcrops that dot the plains, like islands in a grass sea. Leopards drape themselves over acacia tree branches, while cheetahs scan the savanna for prey from termite mounds. The park's ecosystem also supports over 500 bird species, from tiny sunbirds to massive ostriches. As day turns to evening, the Serengeti treats you to some of Africa's most spectacular sunsets. The sky explodes in colors of orange, pink, and purple, while silhouettes of acacia trees and grazing animals create a scene straight from a painter's dream. When darkness falls, a different Serengeti emerges. Nocturnal creatures begin their nightly routines, and if you listen carefully, you might hear the distant roar of a lion or the haunting call of a pearl-spotted owlet. From the endless plains, we turn our gaze upward to Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa's highest peak and the world's highest freestanding mountain. Rising 5,895 meters above sea level, Kilimanjaro is a dormant volcano that commands attention, its snow-capped peak often visible from more than 100 kilometers away. What makes Kilimanjaro truly remarkable is how it creates its own weather system and supports 5 distinct ecological zones. Starting from the base, you'll find fertile farmland and lush rainforest, where coffee plantations thrive in the rich volcanic soil. As you ascend, the landscape transforms dramatically. The rainforest gives way to heath and moorland, where giant groundsels and lobelias create an almost alien landscape. Ascending further, you enter the alpine desert zone, where only hardy lichens thrive, and the air becomes noticeably thinner. Finally, at the summit, you reach the Arctic zone, where despite being just 3 degrees south of the equator, ice and snow persist year-round. Climbing Kilimanjaro is like walking from the equator to the North Pole in just a few days. The mountain offers several routes to the summit, each with its own character and challenges. The Meringue route, often called the Coca-Cola route, provides hut accommodation and is the only route with permanent structures. The more scenic Machema route, known as the Whiskey Route, offers spectacular views and better acclimatization opportunities. While reaching the summit requires no technical climbing skills, the altitude presents a significant challenge. But those who make it to Uhuru Peak are rewarded with one of the most spectacular views in Africa. Watching the sunrise from above the clouds, with the vast African plains spreading out below. The best time to climb is during the dry seasons, January to March or June to October, when the weather is most stable. Even if you don't plan to climb, viewing Kilimandjaro from nearby towns like Moshi offers unforgettable photo opportunities, especially during sunrise and sunset. From the heights of Kilimanjaro, we descend into one of Earth's most remarkable natural sanctuaries, the Ngorongoro Crater. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is actually a caldera, formed when a massive volcano collapsed on itself millions of years ago. What remains today is the world's largest intact volcanic caldera and one of Africa's most spectacular wildlife havens. Measuring 610 meters deep and spanning roughly 260 square kilometers, the crater floor is a natural enclosure for an incredible variety of wildlife. As you descend the crater rim, you'll first notice how the landscape changes. The misty montane forest of the rim gives way to grasslands and swamps on the crater floor. Lake Magadi, a shallow alkaline lake in the crater's heart, often turns pink with thousands of flamingos feeding in its mineral-rich waters. The crater is home to approximately 25,000 large animals, including one of Africa's highest densities of lions. Here you'll find some of the last remaining black rhinos in Tanzania, moving like living shadows through the grasslands. Massive bull elephants carrying some of the largest tusks in Africa are frequent visitors to the crater floor. What makes the Ngorongoro truly special is how close you can get to the wildlife. The crater walls create a natural sanctuary where animals have grown accustomed to vehicles. Watching the interaction between species is fascinating. Hippos wallow in pools while zebras and wildebeest graze nearby, all under the watchful eyes of lions resting in the shade. The crater's walls also create a unique microclimate. Mornings often start misty and cool, but as the sun rises, the crater floor warms up, creating perfect conditions for wildlife viewing. The Maasai people, who have lived in harmony with this landscape for centuries, still graze their cattle on the crater rim, adding a cultural dimension to this natural wonder. As evening approaches, the setting sun paints the crater walls in golden light, creating one of Africa's most memorable scenes. From the wildlife-rich crater, we journey to the spice-scented shores of Zanzibar, where history meets paradise. This archipelago in the Indian Ocean tells a story of sultans and sailors, traders and explorers, all woven together in a tapestry of culture and natural beauty. At the heart of Zanzibar lies Stone Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a living museum of Swahili culture. Walking through Stone Town's narrow alleys feels like stepping back in time. Massive wooden doors, intricately carved with Arabic scripts and Indian-inspired patterns, hint at the island's trading past. The House of Wonders, once the tallest building in East Africa, stands as a testament to the wealth and influence of Zanzibar's sultans. In the evening, the Forodani Gardens come alive with one of Africa's most atmospheric food markets,
Look at the water.
where locals and visitors gather to sample grilled seafood and Zanzibari pizza. But Zanzibar is perhaps best known for its beaches, and they don't disappoint. The northern beaches of Nungwi and Kendwa offer powder white sand and crystal clear waters perfect for swimming and snorkeling. Along the east coast, beaches like Paji and Jambiani reveal themselves with each retreating tide, creating natural swimming pools in the coral rock. Under the waves, coral reefs teem with life. Nemba Atoll, a short boat ride from the northeast coast of Tanzania, has some of East Africa's finest snorkeling and diving opportunities. Zanzibar, nicknamed Spice Island, truly lives up to its name. Spice tours immerse you in fragrant plantations where you can witness, inhale, and savor spices like cloves, cinnamon, and nutmeg, thriving in their natural environment. The island's interior holds its own treasures. Jozani Forest is home to the rare red colobus monkey, found nowhere else on Earth. As day turns to dusk, traditional dhows with their distinctive triangular sails cruise along the horizon, much as they have done for centuries. Whether you're exploring historic alleyways, relaxing on pristine beaches, or diving in azure waters, Zanzibar offers a perfect blend of adventure and relaxation. Next up is Lake Manyara National Park, where an extraordinary ecosystem unfolds between lake and escarpment. This compact but diverse park spans 325 square kilometers, with the alkaline Lake Manyara taking up most of the park during wet seasons. As you enter through a lush groundwater forest, you'll immediately notice what makes this park special: the towering escarpment of the Great Rift Valley rising 600 meters from the lake. But what truly sets Lake Manyara apart are its famous tree-climbing lions. Here, you might spot these magnificent predators lounging in ancient mahogany and acacia trees, a behavior rarely seen elsewhere in Africa. The groundwater forest creates a unique habitat, home to troops of olive baboons and blue monkeys swinging through the canopy. Along the lakeshore, massive African elephants move like gray ghosts through the forest, while hippos cool themselves in the shallow waters. Lake Manyara itself is a birdwatcher's paradise, hosting over 400 species of birds. During wet seasons, thousands of flamingos turn the lake's edges pink, while pelicans and yellow-billed storks wade through the shallows. The park changes dramatically with the seasons. During dry periods, the lake shrinks, creating concentrated wildlife viewing along its shores. In wet seasons, the landscape transforms into a green paradise, with waterfalls pouring down the cliff. One of the park's hidden gems is its tree canopy walkway, offering a unique perspective of the forest from 15 meters above ground. As afternoon light filters through the canopy, you might spot silvery-cheeked hornbills flying between ancient fig trees, their distinctive calls echoing through the forest. From Lake Manyara, we venture to Tarangire National Park, a place where ancient baobab trees stand guard over countless herds of elephants. Often overlooked in favor of its more famous neighbors, Tarangire offers one of Africa's most authentic and rewarding safari experiences. The park is named after the Tarangire River, which provides a lifeline for wildlife during dry seasons, attracting some of the largest elephant herds in Tanzania. What immediately captures your attention are the massive baobab trees, some over 1,000 years old, their massive trunks dwarfing the elephants that gather beneath them. During the dry season, between June and October, the Tarangire River becomes a magnet for wildlife. Herds of up to 300 elephants dig in the dry riverbed, searching for underground streams, while migratory wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles gather along its banks. The park's ancient woodland is also home to some of Tanzania's largest populations of pythons and tree-climbing lions. Lesser kudas, with their distinctive spiral horns, move like shadows through the acacia woodland, while giraffes browse among the upper branches. Bird enthusiasts will find paradise here, with over 550 species recorded, including the endemic yellow-collared lovebird and the ashy starling. Unlike the open plains of the Serengeti, Tarangire's landscape is more intimate, with rolling hills, vast swamps, and dense woodland creating diverse habitats. The Silal swamps, especially during dry seasons, offer some of the park's best wildlife viewing, as animals congregate around the remaining water sources. At sunset, the landscape takes on a magical quality as the sun silhouettes massive baobabs against an orange sky, while elephants move silently through the growing shadows. Now we travel to one of Tanzania's most remote and remarkable parks, Mahale Mountains National Park. Nestled along the shores of Lake Tanganyika, Mahale is a pristine wilderness where forested mountains cascade down to crystal-clear waters. What makes Mahale truly special is its population of approximately 1,000 chimpanzees. offering some of the best primate viewing in Africa. The park's remoteness, accessible only by boat or small aircraft, has helped preserve its nature and unique atmosphere. As you approach by boat, the Mahale Mountains rise dramatically from the lake, their slopes covered in lush tropical forest. The park's star attractions are the chimpanzees, and tracking them through the forest is an unforgettable experience. Walking through the forest, you might hear their calls before you see them, their voices echoing through the canopy. Watching these intelligent primates interact, play, and use tools provides a window into our own evolutionary past. But Mahale isn't just about chimpanzees. The forest hosts 8 other primate species, including red colobus and yellow baboons. The crystal-clear waters of Lake Tanganyika, the world's longest and second deepest freshwater lake, offer excellent swimming and snorkeling. More than 250 species of fish call these waters home, including many found nowhere else on Earth. The combination of mountains, forest, and lake creates breathtaking scenery, especially at sunrise when mist clings to the mountain slopes. Along the beach, palm trees sway in the breeze while fish eagles soar overhead. Whether you're tracking chimps, swimming in the lake, or simply soaking in the scenery, Mahale offers a unique African experience far from the typical safari circuit. Moving southward, we discover Nyerere National Park, formerly known as Selous Game Reserve, a vast wilderness that showcases Africa at its most untamed. As Africa's largest national park, covering an impressive 30,893 square kilometers, Nyerere offers an experience of unspoiled nature few other places can match. What sets this park apart is the mighty Rufiji River, which winds through the landscape like a giant serpent, creating a complex network of channels, lakes, and swamps. Unlike the more visited northern parks, Nyerere provides a sense of true exploration, where you might drive for hours without seeing another vehicle. The park's diverse landscape includes open grasslands, dense woodland, and riverine forests, each supporting different wildlife communities. Here you'll find some of Africa's largest populations of wild dogs, these painted predators moving through the bush in highly coordinated packs. The park's elephant herds, though decimated by past poaching, are making a remarkable recovery, and watching them cross the Rufiji River is an unforgettable sight. Along the river, massive Nile crocodiles bask on sandbanks, while hippos grunt and splash in the deeper pools. What makes Nyerere truly special is the opportunity for boat safaris, offering a different perspective on wildlife viewing. From the water, you might spot lions coming down to drink, or watch elephants swimming between islands, using their trunks as natural snorkels. For the adventurous, walking safaris offer an intimate way to experience the bush, following tracks and signs under the guidance of expert rangers. As evening falls, the bush comes alive with nocturnal sounds, the whooping of hyenas, the distinct saw-like call of leopards, and the chorus of crickets. From wilderness, we step back in time to explore Kilwa Kisiwani, once the greatest trading city on the East African coast. These haunting ruins, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, tell stories of sultans, traders, and a civilization that once controlled much of the Indian Ocean trade. As you approach the island by boat, the first sight that catches your eye is the massive Portuguese fort, standing guard over the ancient harbor. The Great Mosque of Kilwa, built in the 11th century and expanded in the 13th, remains one of the earliest surviving mosques on the East African coast. Walking through the ruins, you'll discover intricately carved coral stones, testament to the skilled craftsmanship of medieval Swahili builders. The Palace of Husuni Kubwa, once the largest building in sub-Saharan Africa, showcases the wealth and sophistication of Kilwa's rulers. What makes these ruins remarkable is how they blend African, Arab, and Persian architectural styles, reflecting the cosmopolitan nature of ancient Swahili culture. Decorated ceiling fragments, Chinese porcelain shards, and glass beads found here provide evidence of trade networks stretching from China to Europe. The ruins are best visited early morning or late afternoon when the changing light brings the ancient stones to life. Local guides share fascinating stories of the site's history, from its founding by Persian princes to its eventual decline after Portuguese conquest. The site offers spectacular views across the Indian Ocean, especially at sunset when the ruins take on a golden glow. Following the coast northward, we reach Bagamoyo, a town whose quiet streets hold centuries of dramatic history. Once the most important trading port on the East African coast, Bagamoyo's name means "lay down your heart" in Swahili, referring to the slaves who would see their last glimpse of home here. The town's history is written in its architecture, from German colonial buildings to ancient Arab merchant houses and traditional Swahili dwellings. The old German boma, built in 1897, stands as a testament to colonial times, its thick walls now housing educational exhibits about the town's history. At the heart of Old Bagamoyo lies the first Roman Catholic church in East Africa, built in 1868 and still an active place of worship. The church's cemetery tells touching stories of early missionaries, many of whom succumbed to tropical diseases while building their mission. Walking through the old town, you'll discover the ancient fish market, where wooden dhows still bring in their daily catch much as they have for centuries. The Kayole ruins, just south of town, include the remains of a 13th century mosque and several ancient tombs, showing the town's importance in medieval times. Modern Bagamoyo maintains its connection to the arts, hosting Tanzania's premier arts college, where students learn traditional crafts alongside contemporary arts. The beach, lined with palm trees and traditional fishing boats, offers a peaceful retreat and stunning views of the sunset over the Indian Ocean. From coastal history, we journey to one of Tanzania's hidden treasures, the Kikuletwa Hot Springs, also known as Chemka Hot Springs. Nestled in an oasis of fig and palm trees near the town of Moshi, these crystal-clear springs offer a natural swimming pool like no other. As you approach through the dry landscape, the first glimpse of turquoise water surrounded by lush vegetation seems almost like a mirage. What makes Kikuletwa truly special is its water, crystal clear and maintaining a perfect temperature year-round, neither too hot nor too cold. Massive fig trees stretch their roots over the pools, creating natural diving platforms and adding to the magical atmosphere. The water's clarity allows you to see straight to the bottom, where tiny fish dart between underwater plants and rocks. Bubbles rising from the sandy bottom show where the spring water enters the pool, creating gentle currents that massage swimmers. The contrast between the surrounding dry landscape and this fertile oasis makes the springs even more remarkable. The best time to visit is early morning when the light filters through the canopy, creating mesmerizing patterns on the water's surface. Rope swings hung from sturdy branches offer adventurous visitors a chance to make a splashing entrance into the crystal-clear pools. Whether you're swimming, relaxing in the shade, or having a picnic by the water, Kikuletwa offers a perfect escape from Tanzania's heat. Rising into the Usambara Mountains, we discover Lushoto, a highland haven where cool breezes and misty mornings create a different side of Tanzania. Perched at 1,400 meters above sea level, this former German colonial town offers a refreshing change from the heat of the plains below. The surrounding Usambara Mountains create some of East Africa's most spectacular scenery, with deep valleys, ancient forests, and terraced hillsides. The town serves as a gateway to numerous hiking trails, each offering unique perspectives of the mountain landscape. Irente Viewpoint, perhaps the most famous lookout, provides breathtaking views across the plains to the distant Maasai Steppe. The region's forests harbor unique plant and animal species found nowhere else on Earth, protected in reserves like the Magamba forest. The local Wasamba people maintain rich cultural traditions, including distinctive music and dance performances. Lushoto's botanical garden, established by German colonists, showcases both native plants and exotic species that thrive in the highland climate. Morning mists create an ethereal atmosphere, especially when viewed from high points like the Irente Cliff. Whether you're hiking mountain trails, visiting local villages, or simply enjoying the cool climate, Lushoto offers a unique highland experience that you will never forget. Whether you dream of watching the Great Migration thunder across the Serengeti, standing at the top of Africa's highest peak, or simply relaxing on a pristine beach, Tanzania offers experiences that will stay with you forever. So when will you begin your Tanzanian adventure? If you enjoyed this journey through Tanzania, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Share your favorite Tanzanian destination in the comments below. And stay tuned for our next video, where we'll explore more of Africa's most incredible destinations. Thanks for watching.